And among those Russians who grew up after the fall of the Soviet Union, there's a number of those who consider the North Caucasus a foreign alien state. Historic and cultural differences have made the country face a growing problem of youth turning to nationalist movements. Artist Irina Galushka reports on a program aimed at battling the issue with reason and dialogue.
Russia's North Caucasus, a place with a reputation for volatility. Even some Russians tend to view these republics as separate entities, with religious and ethnic differences at the heart of the problem, and leading some to tackle its consequences, the ugly side of nationalism.
We gathered people from all walks of life and took them on a trip to the North Caucasus in order to dispel existing myths, to show those who live in that region that Russian nationalists and football fans are not as evil as they're portrayed. And also for us to see that North Caucasus is populated by people just like us, with similar problems and issues.
It's part of a program called Dialogue, and those at helm include a member of a nationalist movement, a football fan, and a youth movement leader. Their main focus is the younger generation, those who grew up after the Soviet Union.
The youth in Russia and in the North Caucasus have a warped perception of each other. That was the starting point for our program. A lot of people do not venture outside of their region and base their opinions on the information they find in mass media and on the internet.
Racial tension and football have increasingly gone hand in hand in Russia. Last December, football fan Yegor Sviridov was killed in a brawl with a group of men from the North Caucasus. His death sparked riots of football fans and nationalists in central Moscow. Police clashes, numerous arrests, those involved in the fatal fighting eventually ending up in prison.
Football right now is a strong part of our society which keeps growing. Since 1917, Russian people didn't have a faith or national idea to rally about. So football fans rally around the country and around the national ideal.
So far, the group's only organized one visit, but it's already getting high-level engagement.
The willingness for the regional government to participate in dialogue is huge progress for the North Caucasus, because these issues were never acknowledged by them before. And that's why we ended up with the problems we have on our hands right now.
These men know that deeply entrenched animosity can't be defeated overnight, but they're convinced that they've got two key tools in their arsenal: talking and listening.
The absence of dialogue between the conflicting sides is one of the main problems. How can those people know the reason why the conflicting sides are involved in the issue? We must sit at a table, have a moderator, and talk about these issues face to face.
Football stadiums like this one, for example, often become battlefields. What starts off as a sports competition turns into heated ethnic conflict. In fact, in Russia, terms football fan and nationalist have unfortunately become almost synonymous.
Yet people like Sultan believe they can and will change that by proving that sport and patriotism have nothing to do with nationalist ideals. Irina Galushka, RT, Moscow.